Sonic, the heart of your system.
I'm the awarded for Kit Guru. We're on the show floor of Nangang for Computex 2019. Outside MSI, we've got a number of things we're going to see. It's a massive booth, all sorts of products, a mix of some we have seen, some we have not. I'm going to pick and choose. We're going to start around this corner. I had a discussion the other day, we did a video about it, a conversation with Gordon of PC World about how a number of manufacturers are getting into the NVIDIA Studio thing, where what we consider to be gaming products are being repurposed as creator products. This is the proof of that. This is MSI's take on it, but we've heard the same thing from every manufacturer we've spoken to so far. So around the corner we've got a seminar. If we follow around, so they're running a series of seminars every 10 minutes. We picked a gap between those seminars. We get people with kind of interesting hats and beards and tablets. And then here we have the creator products, which, to be frank, look to my eyes like conventional gaming products, but generally speaking, lots of aluminium and a kind of white aesthetic. That seems to be the thing with creators. It's, being blunt, they're mimicking Apple Mac look. That's what it's about. So, I mean, look, there we go. Not a gaming product, piece of paper drawing, and so on and so forth. So that's what this is all about. I understand it entirely, but this is definitely a trend of Computex 2019. I'm certain we're going to see more of this going on. Almost randomly, we've ended up at the mouse keyboard sets. So let's look at this. We've got 80 and 50 series hardware. So the higher the number, the higher the series. MSI did a range of peripherals last year that were high-ish end. This GH50, GM50, GD70, oh, that's the mouse pad, ignore that. GK80 gaming keyboard is high-end, but the GH50 and the GM50 mouse, those are mid-range parts. Naturally, you've got your RGB going on. And here we have some budget hardware. GK30 keyboard, GH30 gaming headset, GM11 mouse, so low-end stuff. We don't yet have UK prices. These products are all imminent. And then just to prove you can mix it up as if we had any doubt, a GK60 keyboard, so that's mid to upper range, GH50 gaming headset, mid-range, GM30 gaming mouse, low end. Obviously the spec of the mouse pad is kind of irrelevant. So the point is you can mix and match different components from different series, but we knew that. However, of much more interest to me personally, the MPG Harp 300R case. MPG is a new series of cases. Harp is a new name to me as well. This case is interesting. RGB going on, lots of that. But the point is this panel here, we looked at it at HQ the other day, we've got some close-up photos, I'll try and sneak one into this video. The glass is laminated rather than being regular tempered glass, so it's layered with a noise-deadening material in there. And they were saying this helps cut the noise levels by 10-15%, which is not really what I like to hear. I like to hear a decibel number. It takes X decibels off. They didn't give me that. And they're saying part of the reason why they're really pushing it is X570 motherboards actively cooled, they're noisier. They want to do anything they can to cut noise. So that glass is not just glass even. The RGB, on the other hand, is your RGB. And they've been working very closely with Cooler Master. So if we come down here, there are 3 models in the Sakira range. This 500X is the high end, and this has 200mm RGB fans at the front and also in the roof, so 4 of them, very Cooler Master. And if we look, you can see they've got a whole range of RGB going on. If you look really closely, you'll see there's an MSI logo on the water pump, on the AIO. If you look really closely also, you'll see the radiator of the AIO is Cooler Master. You can come to your own conclusions about that, but loads of RGB. As the case goes, it's obviously designed to flow air to a certain extent, assuming that mesh is proper mesh, not just aesthetic. It's a relatively big case. It's interesting to see that MSI is going for the high end. Some curve monitors. This is triple 27-inch curve monitors just to show what you can do. This looks spectacular. 144 Hertz and all the rest of it, 1 millisecond response, that's all good stuff. Takes up a hell of a lot of desk space. But around the other side, we've actually got something that's quite significant. This Optics Mag 321 Curve, I mean, what a name. The point is, it's a 4K monitor. I was stunned to hear that this is the first 4K monitor that MSI has started to sell. Absolutely remarkable. I just kind of assumed they had 4K, but no. So welcome to the world. We do not yet have pricing that, and that is frustrating, because we had a thing with a 24-inch Asus monitor that looked absolutely brilliant and was fortunes. I'm trusting that MSI is going to be slightly more budget. But nonetheless, MSI, welcome to 4K. This case here, the MPG Gungnir 100, is a budget case, and it's actually the first time I've seen it. The other models we have had a preview of. This is news to me. So apart from that, it's allegedly optimized for water cooling, and it has ARGB. Frankly, anything without ARGB at Computex this year is going to be a surprise. Other than that, don't know. Not even certain that's coming to the UK, but I'm going to trust that it is. Going along here, we've got Z390 motherboards and such like. We're going to head over to X570. I've just stolen this product card from up there because it covers both the X570 Godlike motherboard and also a curved case we'll have a look at in just a moment, because I want to have a good look at this motherboard. So the 570 Godlike is obviously brand new, being X570. However, Godlike we're already familiar with from the Z390 Godlike that I reviewed, which was horribly expensive but a truly impressive motherboard. This is effectively the same board, except it's for brand new Ryzen 3000. So we can see we have an active cooler on the chipset X570. That's going to be a theme. Apparently the Gigabyte Extreme board, which is covered in metal armor and is heat sinks galore, that is one of either the only or one of very few motherboards that will be entirely passively cooled. Active cooling is the thing. Now, we've already had a bit of a conversation about this board, and I've asked a question, I haven't yet had an answer. The VRM controller is IR35201, and yet the phase count is 14 plus 4, 14 plus 2 plus 2, to be absolutely pedantic, which is 18. Well, you can't get to 18 from 8 with doublers. That makes no sense. If you have an 8-phase controller and you double it, you get 16. The maths does not work out. I've asked the question. People have rushed off, and they have not yet come back with an answer. I didn't get my answer from MSI. I went one better. I bumped into Steve Burke of Gamers Nexus. I put the question to him. He immediately messaged Buildzoid. Buildzoid got back to Steve, who got back to me. So thank you, chaps. Here is the answer. The IR35201 controller has 8 phases. It is split in this instance 7 plus 1. So the V-core is 7 doubled, 14. The other, the 8th phase, is quadrupled, and that's quite straightforward because the IR3599 doublers in fact can be used to double or quadruple the phase count. So it is 7 times 2 plus 1 times 4 equals 18. Result. Thank you, Gamers Nexus. So we're going to have to get further into this, but we will undoubtedly be reviewing the 570 Godlike at some point. But anyway, moving on from the IR35201 controversy, the rest of the board is covered in features. Armoured slots, loads of M.2, loads of graphics. You've got the OLED display, displays plural, because you've got the infinity mirror going on here. You've got a load of hardware. I'm just going to assume it's going to be a fortune, and I'm not even going to assume a small fortune. I'm going for a big fortune. Here we have a layout of various godlike features, which is just good to see. So here we have the stripped down heat sinks and the heat pipes showing you that. Then we have the M.2 Expander Gen 4, which is like a carrier interface card for M.2s, and then we have a 10 gigabyte LAN card. Much better showing you it this way than ripping them out of the box and trying to lay them across the table. We'll move along here. Oh yes, I forgot about this. This display. So this is the model codes. Optics MPG 341CQR. Horrible name. And you will see on the screen a jerky, jumpy image of me. And that's coming from this camera here. To confuse the issue, on the top of this curved monitor we have an MSI clamp with a Logitech webcam. We're not talking about that. We're talking about this camera that's built into this curved display in the lower bezel. So I look down, there you go. Facial recognition and cloud, 2 words or 3 words that kind of make you go, ah. The idea is that you have your settings for your monitor, and when you sit down, it recognizes you and it goes, Leo's profile, and it just loads it. And someone else in the family sits down, they have a profile, their settings, it loads them instead. You haven't got to mess around with settings. On the one hand, that's good. On the other hand, anything that's sending your face to the cloud using AI, my automatic reaction is just, okay, it's the way of the world is moving on. I don't particularly like it, it's inevitable. This, on the other hand, I think I do like. I mean, it's vast. This is the Meg Alchemy 700X. Quite honestly, at first glance, it looks like a bigger version of what we've seen from Thermaltake in the past. They've done a number of cases like this, but nothing like this large, and certainly not curved. So in a sense, we have kind of seen something like this before, but absolutely not to this extent. This is double a Thermaltake case. It's just absolutely vast, RGB and glass galore, and it would take an enormous desk to support that. And it has the X570 Godlike motherboard at the heart of the matter. To finish up, almost a comedy moment, if you have that frame of mind, it's a monitor that saves someone from being gunshot to death. If we move around the back and we have a look, it was a stray round that stopped at the monitor. The guy sitting the other side of it survived the experience. I mean, I'm assuming the round had travelled a fair distance and wasn't going very fast, but nonetheless, what a heck of an end to your evening. That's our whistle-stop tour of the MSI booth. Loads of products absolutely heaving in there. Some exciting stuff to see. And there's no doubt that MSI is getting big on monitors. That's for absolutely certain. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you return to Kit Guru during this week to see more videos from Computex. Hit that bell button. I'm Leo Walder for Kit Guru. This is MSI Computex 2019.